I'm Megan, and I'm 25, female. From the moment I met Vlad, I knew that our love would be tested by the storm that was Olga, his mother. The stories I had heard about mother-in-laws paled in comparison to the reality I faced. Olga had a way of making every interaction a battle, every word a weapon. It seemed she took pleasure in tearing me down, finding fault in everything I did or said. One fateful day, Vlad informed me that he had to embark on a business trip that would keep him away for 4 days. While I dreaded the thought of being alone in that house, I saw it as an opportunity to prove myself worthy of being part of Vlad's life by getting to know Olga better. Perhaps I could bridge the divide that separated us. I convinced myself that with a little kindness, I could thaw the ice in her heart. After Vlad had been gone for 2 days, I decided that I wanted to reach out to Olga. I wanted to extend the olive branch and put in the effort to at least have a civil relationship. I called her. Olga, it's Megan. I hope you're doing well. Oh, what do you want? I wanted to reach out because I've been thinking a lot about our relationship lately, and I genuinely want to mend the rift between us. I thought it would be nice if you could come over to our house and spend some time together. Maybe we could have a cup of tea and chat, just the two of us. Megan, I have more important things to do than waste my time with you. Your attempts at building a connection with me are laughable. Besides, I doubt you can even make a decent cup of tea. Olga, please hear me out. Till this day, I'm not sure what I did to you, but I'm willing to put in the effort to make things better between us. Let me prove it to you by making your favorite Russian dessert, medovik. I know it's a cherished recipe from your mother, and I want to honor that tradition. It would mean a lot to me if you could join me for tea and enjoy the special treat together. Medovik? Ha! You think your American hands are capable of handling such a delicate and intricate dessert? You clearly don't understand the art of Russian cuisine. Spare me your feeble attempts at playing the perfect daughter-in-law, when we both know that you are far from that. Don't bother me again with your pitiful gestures. Before I could even reply to what she said to me, she had already cut the call. I surprised myself when I was wiping my tears away. My silent cries served as a good indicator that I was complacent in her attacks against me. But what could I do? She was so domineering and aggressive with me, and I'm not used to confrontation. For the rest of Vlad's trip, I obeyed my mother-in-law and didn't bother reaching out to see if she was okay, since that was what she wanted. It had been 5 days, and I was expecting my man to come through the door any second now. But instead, I got a call from him. Hey, Megan, I have some news. I'm really sorry, but I have to stay an extra day on this business trip. There's a work emergency that needs my attention. I hope you understand. Oh, Vlad, I understand. Sometimes we can't escape these things. Is everything all right? If I'm being honest, I don't know. I overheard some of my bosses talking about letting some people go. Maybe it's about that. Oh, no, that's awful. I hope you're not one of them. Me too, babe. That's why I gotta stay for this emergency thing, to show them I'm a team player. I get it, babe. Don't worry, I survived 4 days without you. I think I can survive 1 more. Here's the thing, though. I was supposed to give some money to my mother today, and since I won't be able to do it personally, I was wondering if you could help me out. I know it's a lot to ask, but I trust you, and I would appreciate it if you could give her the money on my behalf. Of course, Vlad. I'm more than happy to help, you know that. But, I have to be honest with you. I tried reaching out to your mother a couple of days ago. I wanted to invite her over, hoping we could enjoy each other's company. I even offered to make her medovik, but it didn't go well, Vlad. She shouted at me and made me feel worthless. Oh, Megan, I'm so sorry. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but that's how she always is. Please don't let her words get to you. I know it's tough, but we'll figure this out together. I'll talk to her and try to tame her beastly behavior. You don't deserve to be treated like this. Thank you, Vlad. Your understanding means the world to me. I'll give your mother the money as you requested, but I can't help but feel anxious about how she'll react. I just want things to be better between us. I understand, Megan. We'll work through this. You've shown so much kindness and love, even in the face of her hostility. I'm grateful to have you by my side. Let's hope that one day she'll realize how lucky she is to have you as her daughter-in-law." We ended the call with virtual hugs and kisses, and what was meant to be a relaxing day where I expected my husband to come home quickly turned into a nightmare where I dreaded the inevitable appearance of my mother-in-law. As the clock ticked closer to Olga's arrival, my nerves grew tense. I meticulously prepared the money and rehearsed the words I would say, hoping for a peaceful exchange. But deep down, I knew that Olga had a knack for turning any situation into chaos. When she finally arrived, the air in the room grew heavy with tension. I plastered a smile on my face, hoping to diffuse the brewing storm. I handed her the envelope containing the money, hoping for a civil interaction, a glimpse of acceptance. But before I could even utter a word, Olga's face twisted into a scowl and she unleashed her pent-up anger. "How dare you steal from my son?" "What? No, Olga, I didn't steal anything. Vlad asked me to give you the money because he couldn't be here himself. I was just trying to help." "Help? You? Don't make me laugh. You're nothing but a thief trying to take advantage of my son. I never believed you had any means of income. You're just trying to rob us blind." "Olga, please listen to me. I would never do anything to harm Vlad or take advantage of him. I love him. I'm his wife, and I want us to have a good relationship. I tried reaching out to you, to connect with you, but all you did was shout at me and push me away." "Connect with me? Ha! As if there's anything to connect. You should never have bothered me with your presence. And what's this I'm hearing of you telling Vlad that I was mistreating you? So now you're cowering under my son as some sort of shield?" "Olga, I expressed my concerns about our relationship and hoped for a better future. Is that so wrong?" "There is no relationship between us, Megan. You're nothing more than an obstacle standing in my way. This money was meant for me to buy groceries, but I will never receive money from you. I'd rather starve than accept anything from someone I'm so disgusted with." I don't understand why you treat me this way. I've tried my best to show kindness, to bridge the gap between us. All I wanted was for us to have a loving family, but it seems impossible. It hurts so much, Olga. I can't take this anymore. Get out of my house." Olga was momentarily stunned by my outburst. Her face twisted in disbelief, but I stood my ground, my voice shaking with determination. She reluctantly gathered her belongings and made her way toward the door, a mixture of anger and hurt etched on her face. She accused me of stealing from her son. The words cut through me like shards of glass, leaving wounds that went beyond the surface. In her eyes, I was a thief, unworthy of her son's hard-earned money. I was enraged. It was one thing being berated constantly, but accusing me of stealing? That was a new low for Olga. I had done nothing but try to help, to bridge the divide between us, and now she had shattered any hope of peaceful coexistence. Anger mixed with hurt fueled my determination to stand my ground. In the days that followed, Vlad returned from his business trip. My heart leapt with joy at the sight of him, but my excitement quickly faded when I saw the weariness in his eyes. Something was wrong, and I could feel it in my bones. "Vlad, what's wrong? You seem upset." "Megan, I lost my job. They had to make cuts, like I told you about, and I was one of the casualties." My heart sank, matching the weight of his words. Losing his job meant losing stability and financial security. Panic gripped me momentarily, but then a sense of determination washed over me. If I had to be the rock in this storm, then so be it. I wrapped my arms around him, holding him tightly. "Vlad, we'll get through this together. We'll find a way. We always do." "Megan, you've always been my rock. Now more than ever, we need each other. I'm sorry for all the stress you've endured with my mother. I promise to support you in every way I can." His words soothed my soul, reminding me of the love that bound us together. We were a team, facing life's challenges head on. At that moment, I knew that we would conquer whatever came our way. Days turned into weeks, and I embraced my new role as the breadwinner of the family. I poured my energy into my field of work, exploring more opportunities and ensuring that our ship stayed afloat. Vlad, ever supportive, took on the role of a caring homemaker, tending to our home and offering emotional support while he also looked for a job. Though the wound caused by Olga's hurtful accusations still throbbed, I refused to let it consume me. Our focus was on building a better future, not dwelling on the past. We stood tall, united against any obstacle that dared cross our path. Eventually, after several months of this new dynamic, I began to thrive in my career. I got a promotion and a huge bonus, which I then used to invest in my business ventures because I wanted to become independent at some point. As I embraced my role as the breadwinner, a new sense of purpose filled my days. My career began to flourish, and I found myself excelling in ways I never thought possible. The financial success I achieved fueled my ambition and ignited a spark of entrepreneurship within me. With my newfound financial stability, I started exploring opportunities to pursue my dream of owning a cafe. The thought of leaving my job and venturing into a business of my own brought both excitement and trepidation, but I was determined to make it a reality. Every spare moment was dedicated to researching, planning, and saving. I pored over business strategies, visited potential locations, and carefully calculated the costs involved. It was a daunting endeavor, but the thought of creating something of my own filled me with boundless energy. Meanwhile, Vlad faced the reality of his changed circumstances. He used to financially support his mother, ensuring her needs were met. But with the loss of his job, he could no longer provide the same level of financial assistance. It was a difficult adjustment for him, but he stood firm in prioritizing our future together. One day, Olga reached out to Vlad, her voice tinged with hesitation. She asked if he could send her money just as he had done in the past. I happened to be in the room when he received the call, listening intently to the conversation. Vlad hesitated for a moment, glancing at me with a mixture of concern and determination. He took a deep breath and spoke with unwavering honesty. "Mom, I can't send you money anymore. I've hit a rough patch, and Megan has been shouldering the financial burden. If you need, perhaps you should consider reaching out to her." Silence hung in the air for a few seconds as Olga processed his words. Eventually, she responded, her voice hesitant. I'll think about it." It was a pivotal moment and a potential turning point in our relationship with Olga. While I understood Vlad's decision and had prepared myself for the possibility, I couldn't help but feel a mix of apprehension and curiosity about what Olga's response might ultimately be. As the weeks turned into months, my financial stability continued to soar. Through hard work, determination, and a touch of good fortune, I found myself accumulating wealth at an astonishing rate. The struggles of the past seemed distant memories as I embraced a life of comfort and security. With my newfound prosperity, I was able to support our household without any financial worries. The weight of the financial burden had been lifted from Vlad's shoulders, allowing him to focus on his own journey of self-discovery and finding new career opportunities. One day, while going about my daily routine, Olga appeared at our doorstep, a sheepish look on her face. She hesitated for a moment before finally gathering the courage to speak. Her voice filled with vulnerability. "Megan, I need your help. Could you spare some money?" A smile tugged at the corners of my lips as I realized the irony of the situation. I excused myself briefly, disappearing into another room. I returned with an envelope in hand and extended it to Olga. "Here you go." Olga's eyes lit up, her joy evident as she eagerly accepted the envelope, but as her fingers touched the surface, her expression shifted from delight to confusion. The realization struck her like a bolt of lightning, and her voice quivered with disbelief. Why is the envelope empty?" A calm yet firm smile played on my lips as I met Olga's gaze. "Do you remember, Olga? You once said to me that you would rather starve than accept money from me." Her face paled. And she stumbled over her words, desperately attempting to backtrack and deny her previous statements, but it was too late. The years of her cruel treatment, the hurtful words, and the constant belittlement had taken their toll. With the fire in my eyes, I confronted her, my voice echoing with the frustration and pain that had simmered within me for far too long. You cannot pretend to be kind now, Olga, after treating me with nothing but contempt and cruelty. You've shown your true colors, and no amount of empty apologies can undo the damage you've caused. The next time you think about being so ugly and callous to someone, think about it long and hard before you do, because you might end up at their doorstep, groveling and begging for something. Olga huffed and puffed in frustration, her face a mix of anger and bewilderment. She was at a loss, unsure of how to respond or what to do next. But at that moment, I found my voice and spoke my truth, no longer willing to be silenced by her toxicity. For all those years, Olga, you were nothing but evil to me. Your words and actions have wounded me deeply, and I refuse to allow you to continue exerting power over my life. From this moment forward, I will no longer tolerate your presence in my life. You might be my mother-in-law, but you're dead to me. Silence hung heavy in the air as Olga absorbed my words, her face etched with a mixture of shock and indignation. And as she reluctantly turned to leave, I felt a sense of liberation wash over me. I confronted the source of my pain and asserted my worth. Oh, Olga, wait, I have another surprise for you. She turned back around, with hope in her eyes. I'm sure your son has told you that I'm planning on opening a cafe. Would you like to know what it's called? What is it? Medovic. She gasped in complete shock, and I could see that she wanted to be part of this new business venture, or, at the very least, try the baked goods that I was going to serve. And you're not allowed to come. Sorry. Olga's face fell for the second time during this encounter, and finally, after being defeated, she skulked away, leaving just as she had come, with her dignity nowhere to be found. As I moved forward with my life, free from the toxic presence of Olga, a new chapter was waiting to be written. I embarked on a journey to bring Medovic, my very own cafe, to life. The name was a nod to Vlad's Russian heritage and the signature honey cake that became our specialty. The process of establishing Medovic was not without its challenges, but fueled by my passion and determination, I poured my heart and soul into every aspect of the cafe. From meticulously selecting the finest ingredients to designing a warm and inviting space, I strived to create an experience that would captivate the senses and leave a lasting impression on our patrons. And to my delight, Medovic quickly became a resounding success. Word of mouth spread, drawing customers from near and far who were eager to indulge in the delectable treats we offered. The cafe buzzed with laughter, conversation, and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and freshly baked pastries. It was a dream come true. Throughout this journey, Olga made several attempts to worm her way back into my good graces. She realized the error of her ways and sought forgiveness, but I had grown wise to her manipulative tactics and had no intention of allowing her negativity back into my life. Each time she approached me, I firmly and resolutely shut her out, refusing to be swayed by false apologies or empty promises. Vlad, my unwavering source of support, stood by my side throughout it all. He understood the pain I had endured at the hands of his mother, and was relieved to see me taking a stand for my well-being. Despite his familial ties, he shared my sentiments and was glad that Olga was finally being held accountable for her actions. Together, Vlad and I worked tirelessly in the cafe, finding solace and fulfillment in our shared passion. As we witnessed the cafe flourish and our dreams come to fruition, we realized that our wealth was not just measured in monetary terms, but in the joy and satisfaction we derived from pursuing our true passions. Gone were the days of being confused by the negativity and toxicity that had plagued our lives. We had chosen to embrace a simpler yet more fulfilling existence, one that allowed us to focus on what truly mattered: love, happiness, and pursuing our dreams. As the years went by, Medovic continued to thrive, becoming a beloved gathering spot for the community. The cafe became more than just a business. It became our home. And so my journey carried on, not only as a successful cafe owner, but as a person who had reclaimed their sense of self-worth and forged their path. With Olga's negativity banished from my life, I was able to embrace the beauty of the present and look forward to a future filled with endless possibilities. In the warm embrace of Medovic and the love of Vlad, I found my version of happiness, free from the shackles of toxic relationships. And with each passing day, I reveled in the knowledge that I had not only built a successful business, but had also crafted a life that was truly my own. Though the journey ahead would still hold its share of challenges, I knew that I had taken a significant step towards reclaiming my peace and creating a life defined by love, support, and self-worth. And with Vlad by my side, we would continue to build a future that was free from the toxic influence of Olga and filled with the happiness and fulfillment we both deserved.